You know what I was thinking? We have so many people in our world today, pro-life and abortion. So I understand, and what the Lord has given me, or what I was inspired to, when I think about prison, then they say prison reform. It's all about the reform. What is reform? It's to rethink it, re-examine, and rediscover. I don't think, I hear the argument of people pro-life saying, no, you can't be, even a best friend of mine, very advocate about Planned Parenthood and against abortion and the life. Very good argument, and it's so real, and it's so real. But one thing I just realized, what's missing in the abortion and the woman's right is the word. Nobody's ever thought about putting those two: abortion reform, abortion reform, abortion reform. A woman should never lose her right to choose. Never. Never lose her right to choose. But if she chooses to have an abortion, it should be allowed for her. It should be her right to choose to have an abortion. Now, as my friend would tell me, my brother Randy would tell me that, and brought to my attention that there people are buying the body parts, or it's a business. It's become a business. Abortion should never be a business. It should be a practice, not a business. Because if it's a business, then it becomes corrupt. If abortion is a business and not a profession, then it can be corrupt. A woman should never have to pay the price of having a pregnancy that she didn't want. Now, we understand sex without marriage is not good. Aside from that, this kind of woman, my mother has the right to choose if I'm here or not. It'd be her right to choose. I'm coming through her. That's a choice. Every woman has different situations. I think it makes it hard when you tell a person what they can't do. It's no different than the gun laws. I want to have my guns. Don't take my right away from me. Now that gun kills. A woman gives life. So if she has an abortion, based on her circumstances, she should be able to have that. Just like if I'm in my house, I should have the right to have a gun. To what? Protect myself. I'm not buying a gun just to shoot somebody if they make me angry and have a motive behind my gun is to murder someone. That's not the right motivation for a gun. The same thing for a woman. A woman might want to go lay down with a man, have sex, but she's not intended to get pregnant. And if she does, she has to deal with that. Just like if somebody had a gun and they shot somebody, they're responsible for that. And if we're asking for reform in the gun laws, if you're asking for a reform in the prison system, then why shouldn't there be a reform in abortion? Reform. Look at that word, reform. Reform the law. Reform. Is it a crime for a man to get a woman pregnant? Is it? Where if you're going to tell a woman that if she has an abortion and you're going to make it illegal for her to have an abortion, why can't you make it illegal for a man to impregnate her? Make it illegal if you're going to do that. If you're going to strip away her rights, strip away the man's rights. So that should be a reform. I believe every woman has a right to have an abortion if she needs an abortion. It becomes a crime when the practice of abortion becomes a business. And that's what it's become. Because it's not reformed. So if there was a reform, then there should be, let's think about it. A woman, one woman, how many abortions should she have? Allowed to have? I can see a reform in that. Find out, hey, if you're a single woman and you have 5 abortions, hey, come on, you're abusing the system. That's not what it's there for. Therefore, if you have so many abortions, then it should be subject to a criminal charge. If you're going to do that. Or you make sure that she cannot have an abortion because she had too many. Reform. She should always have the right. But if she abuses her right, just like if I bought a gun and I abuse my right to have my gun and violate somebody else and hurt somebody else, I should be held accountable for that. And the gun license should be what? Removed. If I have an accident, how many accidents will you allow me to have before you say, hey, you don't know how to drive? You need to pay for that. Be responsible for that. You're not going to tell anybody you can't drive anymore unless there was a reason. But people still have a license to drive. Driving is not illegal. So why should a woman's choice to have an abortion be illegal? It needs to be reformed. Instead of the politicians or making a division between a Christian and a non-Christian, and the difference is who has the right to choose to give life and who doesn't have the right to take it. You understand? There should be a reform. It's not about taking it away. A woman should have the right to have a safe abortion if she wants to have it. If a woman wants to get her breast enlarged and she has a procedure done to enlarge them, then that should be her right. You're going to take her rights away from making her breasts large? So if it's okay, and then you're going to have a reform in that because you have to be careful of what somebody's putting in your body to produce this big breast. You know what I'm saying? You have a practice, then it's malpractice if there's a problem. Why don't you just make that illegal? Illegal for a woman to enhance her body. So, if you're going to look at this procedure, you're not going to take that and give no laws of what you can't do for your body. That's what you want. Like if you want your ass to be big, is anybody worried about it? You know, putting silicone or cement up in somebody's ass, what you call that? Malpractice. What do? Take that person's license away. Understand? So there should also be a reform if a woman wants to have an abortion for whatever reason. It is her business. She should have the right to have a legal abortion where it's safe. You know, having your breast enlarged, we have to make it safe. It's a practice, that procedure. If somebody botches it up, they're held accountable. Understand? But it's her choice. So why are you saying she can choose to have her breasts enlarged and her ass enlarged, but she doesn't have the right to choose if she wants to carry a baby? Understand? For 9 months. She has to go through it. Having a baby has a lot involved. Who's going to pay for the hospital? Their hospital bills? She has to eat properly. Her whole life changes. And you want to take her right away to have an abortion knowing that she cannot handle that? Are you willing to make programs to help her? If you're not going to do all of that and just take the right away, then you're doing her an injustice. You're doing a criminal act against her. She didn't get pregnant by herself. And if she chooses to have an abortion because some man impregnated her, and then you're going to, the man left. So that's already trauma. She knows what's at stake. She should have the right to choose. My biggest point is, why are you going to make a law that says she cannot have a proper, safe procedure done to prevent something that would change her life and could change the child's life? What is a life that's in a world that doesn't give a damn? You know what I'm saying? If she does have the baby and she goes through a whole lot of difficult, is the government willing to help her for having that baby? Knowing that she can't afford the baby, but she laid down. Okay, she made a mistake. She found out the man ain't no good. She should be penalized if she wants to have an abortion. Who's going to help her? What's going to happen to that child? You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about the child's right, the child has a right to live a good life, not have a birth come into a world and nobody love you. They mad at you, only because they're a little bitter because they didn't have the right to choose, but they knew what was best for them. There needs to be a reform, abortion reform. If you're going to educate and child pregnancy, there's all kind of things to prevent them from having to go to that extreme. Can't get off on the man either, because here's a responsibility. If you want to bust a nut, bust a nut. But if you're going to bust a nut and you didn't protect yourself and the woman becomes pregnant, that's on you, brother. That's on you. You did that. Now, you shouldn't be able to just pump them up, bust a nut, and walk away. No. That ain't right. That's not right. And then disappear and leave her by herself to go through all of whatever she goes. Problem. What's the problem? If you don't want to take care of nothing, then don't bust a nut just for the hell of it. You're not a man because you have babies. That don't make you a man. Busting a nut and having a dick doesn't mean shit if you can't be responsible for it or the results of it. Why are you going to lay down with a woman you don't even love? What the hell? What is that? Jerk off. Shit, get a doll. There should be reform everywhere. We have to rethink all of this. All of this. My father left my mother. Just left. In those days, you could get a girl pregnant and fucking walk away. Disappear. Poof. Gone. And she's sitting there stuck. What was my mother going to do with 2 kids? Yeah, she had one. He was there. Had me. And he disappeared. My mother told me the story. He went out. My mother said he left her 3 times. 3 times. And the 3rd time, I'm going to the store. He never came back. Never came back. Damn. Anyway, so I believe a woman has the right to choose. In this day and time, it's not about killing a baby just for the hell of it and having an abortion. Only reason this thing happened with the abortion, because it has become a business. It's a business, just like the jail. They're private owners of jails. They want a profit. They don't make any profit if there's no bodies up in there. So it becomes a business. A business. The policemen have to get the bodies to put into the jail. So they, the owner of the jail, can make a profit. Come on now. The same thing for the abortion clinic. Oh, pump them up, pump them up, pump them up. Go on, nigga, pump them up. Get them pregnant so that you can come here and get an abortion so I can get rich. Because he wanted some pussy and he wanted to bust a nut. Somebody making money off of your nut. And you running around trying to figure out how I'm going to pay the bill. Damn, this shit's fucked up. This is fucked up. So my point here, abortion should be legal. A woman should have the right to choose. And a man needs to man up and take care of the responsibilities. If you're going to lay, get your little nut. Remember, if a baby comes, you are responsible. And do not try to get out of it. You should have thought about this before you laid with the woman. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to lay with her, put a goddamn rubber on. Don't let the pussy fuck your life up. Understand? And women, don't let a dick fuck your life up. What is it? A few moments of pleasure and a whole lifetime of pain. Come on now. If it's not planned, then you shouldn't be doing it. If you don't love her, don't fuck her. How about that? If you don't love her, don't fuck her. And if she don't love you, don't let him put his dick up in you. There needs to be a reform. Let's be real. Let's stop all this bullshit. People are out there to make money any way they can. And the laws and the system, it's all fucked up. The whole thing needs to be reformed. So that's another story. But anyway, we're talking about abortion. I believe abortion should be legal, but it needs to be reformed. It needs to be reformed. What if a woman gets pregnant by a man and he decides he wants to walk away, take a picture of him, make a website, for nationally, and put the man's face up there. This man got this girl pregnant, period. So if a girl wants to lay down with a man, she needs to look at a database and find out, did he bust a nut in somebody else and walk away? Come on now, talking about reform. If a man knows if he lays down with you and you get pregnant, that his picture gonna be posted with his name and any pertinent information, that's legal, that a woman can check it and see if his name is there or his picture is there. If he has made, 10 women pregnant and walked away, you don't need that dick. You don't need that dick. Because if he lock you up, he gonna walk. Come on, women. Come on, you gotta think. It's not about cutting off his dick. None of that. But that could be in there now. That could be a deterrent. No man wants their dick cut off. You understand? It should be a violation. You say like that's the third violation. If you get more than 5 women pregnant and you just walked away, then the dick need to be taken away. Because you don't know how to use it properly. You understand? There must be a reform. It has to look at the whole spectrum. Come on now. Come on now. I'm not against going out and, find somebody you like and you turned on and you want to have sex with. It's fine, but you got to do it responsibly. Come on, you just don't fuck anything and don't have any responsibility. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. A woman has the right to choose, period. And the system should be reformed. Abortion should be reformed. It should not be a business, a way to make millions off of a woman's mistake and a man's inability to take care of responsibility. Come on now. We're talking about reform. A woman has the right to choose. It should be reformed. It should be looked at. If a woman has more than 5 abortions, then baby, you're not going to get an illegal abortion. Or if it's less than 5. You understand? Don't abuse your right. None of us have the right to abuse our rights. You understand? We have to understand that having a right to do something that's not right doesn't make it right. We all got to be responsible for it. Nobody can just walk away from the issue. and slam the door and say, women, you don't have the right to choose. Really? Huh. What if a man was given the same right to say, hey man, if you get a woman pregnant and you don't take care of that baby, and you violated 5 women, or you violated the woman 5 times and not taking care of her babies, then something needs to happen to your sexual organ. You understand? I don't put you in jail. Put you in jail for what? You don't need to rot in jail because you want to have a night of pleasure. No, there should be a penalty. Maybe lose a testicle or something. Because if I'm going to lay down with somebody and I can think of like, well, if I get this girl pregnant and I don't take care of it, they're going to take one of my balls. I might think about that again. Or if I pregnate too many women and don't take care of them, they might just, take my my dick away. We would think twice about who we fuck. Understand? Telling somebody to put on a rubber is nothing. Hey, you can tell me put on a rubber. I can put it on. But if I want to snatch that bad boy off just to say, ooh, I want to see how it feels. I know how it feels with no rubber on. It feels so good. And, I want to get down and this girl gets pregnant. I have to know there's a price to pay for that moment of pleasure. Having a rubber does not stop a man. That ain't shit. Take something that he values away. That's a preventive measure. And the women the same way. You can't just get a man and just put your pregnancy on him because another man impregnated you and you trying to cover up. That should be illegal. You should not be trying to put something on somebody else when you know they didn't do that. That's straight up wrong. And criminal charges you should be held accountable for that. There should be a penalty for that. Maybe your picture should be on a database too, so a man can look at it and say, which this woman, she's had several abortions. I bet that mess with her. It should be vice versa. Come on, let's make it. We have the technology, we have the ability. If we can find people on a dating app, then we should also be able to find the ones that violated it. Come on now. Abortion, there needs to be reform. Abortion reform. Don't take the rights away. Just reform it. The prison system needs to be reformed. Gun laws should be reformed. It's so many things that need to be reformed to make it better, to make it work for everyone. The Christian, so-called Christian, shouldn't be knocking somebody. They should be requesting a reform. And stop this, like you're gonna play God and say, women, you don't have any right. What makes you think that you have the right to tell somebody else what they can and cannot do? You're not God. And you think you taking this religious stance makes you holier than thou? Come on now. Anyway, that's all I had to say about abortion. I think abortion should be a reform. We need to think about it. See what happens.